Welcome to Hamilton County TV, Hamilton County Coaches Show. I'm Perry Williams, and today we got Coach David Sharpe. Welcome, Coach.
Good to be here, Perry. Thank you.
Good to see you. Big victory this weekend. You traveled down to Terre Haute, which is kind of unusual for us in Central Indiana to have to travel that far, and especially with the COVID and everything. Talk a little bit about the preparation, because I know it was a lot different than ever before. So
it was a lot different. So it was our first road game, and it happened to be 2.5 hours away when you figured in traffic. But what made it weird was most of the kids actually rode with parents. So we were hunting down permission slips and making sure we had all of our travel kids going. And we only ended up taking maybe 25 kids on the bus, or 2 buses. So it was all socially distanced, a lot of protocols, but it's a lot of phone tag and email and back and forth communication with parents, and selling tickets is the same way. They only gave us 80 tickets, and we took about 80 kids, so it was either mom or dad, which you feel terrible for these parents, especially of seniors that they didn't get to see their kid play. And luckily it was simulcasted on a Terre Haute TV station, I believe. So
yes, it was.
Yeah, so it worked out good, but off the field logistics, we're glad that's over with, and we're glad we came out with the W.
Sounds good. Coach, obviously when you win 50-0 against Terre Haute South, there's a lot of kids that played really well. Let's talk about a few of those kids, and then talk about a few of the kids that you got the opportunity to play that normally wouldn't play, and did a good job.
Right. Well, we did not get off to a hot start. We got there late, and we show up, and they get 2 or 3 first downs right out of the gate. We commit some penalties. We jump off sides on 4th and 4. And then we get the ball in offense, and we fumble on about our 7th play. So it was a lousy start, but then everything started to click. And when you think defensively, it kind of starts with our defensive line. So I know guys like Josh Rogers and Alaric Rogers-Walton, Isaiah Tweehouse, Josiah Baeza, they had some good reps. Josh Hampton as well. Our linebackers did a great job. I don't think they had more than 50 yards rushing, if I recall, something along those lines. So that linebacking core, Mason Bolin and Jackson Sloan and Skylar Tolliver, that group did a great job. And then they tested us deep. They had some really good receivers, Sam Steinhofer in there as well as linebackers. But they tested us deep with number 7 and number 81, and our DBs did great too. So guys like Zach Blevins, Aiden Walker, Blaine McNabb was in the mix there as well. Just in all, Jack Snyder, Jordan Sharpe, they both sophomores got a lot of good reps too. So defensively, it was a shutout's a shutout, and
absolutely.
And like I said, a lot of it was the first 10 plays of the game they moved the ball, but then after that we had a ton of success. So very pleased defensively. Offensively, Mount Vernon gave us a lot to work on. Let me just put it that way. And it was as lousy a start last week against Mount Vernon, getting down 14-0 in 2 minutes and kind of playing from behind the whole time. And this time we got to play with the lead, which is a lot easier for us offensively. But I really feel like our offensive line made some big strides, not just physically, but it was mentally. Like we have some specific rules in our blocking system with different tags and code words, and they were able to really capitalize on that. And we were quite got somebody with no muffler right here.
Yeah.
But there we go. But we were happy with the way the O-line progressed. So and we had Carson Cutler and Drew Page and Ben Decker and Dylan Ray and Evan Augsburger and Nate Ham got the start, and Jake Long, of course. So those guys played very, very well in the first half. We really split up the carries with first half wise with Holden Montarsi, with Owen Jones, with Trey Speak, and with Chance Yeager. Those guys got the bulk of the reps in the first half. And of course, our quarterback Doc Meinerding, he did a great job. We got up to such a hot start. We didn't need to throw the ball at all. It was kind of, before you knew it was 20-0, and it was because of some turnovers that they had. So we were able to get a lot of guys some reps, especially after halftime. And it was just a good day to be a Miller. Everything went our way.
Well, that's good. Coach, let's talk a little bit about you're starting the Hoosier Crossroad Conference, okay? You spent a year in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference down in Southeastern. You know how important that conference is, and it's a tough conference. You know, if you look at the preseason top players in the state, you know, in Football Digest, there's several Hoosier Crossroad Conference players in there, just about like the Mid. I'm not saying one is better than the other, but we're starting to see a lot of talented football players in the Hoosier Crossroad Conference.
Yeah, I think it starts with the size of the schools. So every school's got 2,500, 3,000 kids, 3,500 kids, or so forth, which means every class has 35, 40, 50 guys in the sophomore class, junior class, senior class. So that's a lot of guys to pick from. And so that's what gives our conference such a great reputation, is you can have extremely good kids that actually don't get in the game that much. And we know we have that right now. We love our depth, and we have to make some critical calls with, are we going to put in kid A or kid B? And a lot of times it is not much. And the next week it might change or flip-flop a little bit. And Fishers is a great example. We've seen, just based on the scouting report, they've subbed in a lot of guys on both sides of the ball. They're trying to figure out, kind of like us, they're trying to figure out by week 4 or 5 what lineup do they want heading into tournament time. And I think they're starting to figure some things out. They played really well in the second half of the Pike game. Almost came back and won that game. So they have our full attention, and we know it's going to be a fun game. We're looking forward to a 10-minute drive as opposed to a 2.5-hour drive.
Yeah, that's a pretty nice drive down there to have to go to a away game.
Yeah.
No farther than that. Well, you know, the one thing about Fishers is, you know, they're 0-2, okay, but both of those teams were MIC teams, okay, so they're playing good football competition. So, you know, it's kind of dangerous, okay. I mean, they have 5 players back that started sometime during the season last year on both sides of the ball. So they did lose to graduation several players, okay.
Yep.
But, you know, Coach Funk, and I saw in the reporters said, you know, we got to do better, and I'll take the responsibility for that, especially on the execution side. So, and they were going to focus this week. So I'm sure that he has the kids really in tune. So let's talk about what you think you might see, because with Coach Funk being brand new, it's a little bit different.
Yeah. So when you think about Fishers this year, the first thing that your mind goes to is the 2 6'6", you know, Division I wide receivers, and number 86 and number 81. So those are tough matchups. They're going to be tough matchups for everybody in the state, and I know that they're going to instantly, you know, like that's going to be their focus. They're going to try to get those guys the ball in many creative ways, we know. So we have to do, we're not going to shut those guys down. Those guys are so good, but we have to limit their impact on the game, because we know they're going to go to them a lot. And you know, the offensive line is getting better for Fishers. The running backs, I know they're rotating some guys in, but you can really tell they have some talented guys there as well. And the quarterback's doing a much better job. You know, he looked, like I said, looked pretty good in the second half of the Pike game. So defensively, it's going to be a tough matchup for us. And then offensively, like you said, there are quite a few returning starters. They've got a lot of depth in their defensive line linebacker group, which is usually the first thing we look at, because we're going to run the ball 90% of the time, most likely. And we got to find some matchups that we can get some drive blocks going, get some trap blocks going, and figure out a way to kind of 3 and 4 yard them and get in a flow, wear them down a little bit. That's going to be our game plan for everybody. But yeah, Fishers presents a problem with the depth that they have on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, the one thing about it in the stats against Pike, Simmons and Morris, the two receivers you're talking about, are basketball players. Okay, so they have quick feet. They can get down the field, like you said. They're tall, okay, so they can go up after the ball. Yeah. But they had 238 to 273 yards in the air. Yeah. So they're going to be a challenge for us, most definitely.
Going to be a challenge. We're working on a lot of jump balls this week, a lot of deep routes, and you know, got to really challenge our DBs to be ready to play. And we got to get after. And our front seven is, you know, we have to be able to put some pressure on the quarterback, and I think we're doing a good job of that. But yeah, like I said, it's going to be a very tough matchup. And Coach Funk's a phenomenal coach. I actually had breakfast with him last Friday.
Really?
Great guy. So I hope we can be friends 364 days out of the year. Well, 363 days out of the year.
That's right.
Because we might see him in the sectionals as well. But nothing but respect for the Tigers.
Okay, Coach, I appreciate it. Good luck this Friday. You're going going to Fishers. The Fishers Broadcast Network will do that game, but I think that's on a paywall. So,
okay.
But you'll be able to watch it, but there'll be costs associated with it. But hopefully we'll get a few more tickets than 80 tickets. So.
Hopefully, we'll see.
All right. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks,
Go
Barry.
Millers.